Hello and welcome to Code with Petit Pois again. This is a tutorial about how to build a job board with Astro.js and Tailwind. This is a look at what we will be creating today. We have a list of jobs. We can view the details. We can filter by type. And we'll be able to even post a job with an employer login as well. So that's basically what we're going to be looking at today, and let's get started. So I have a folder here, empty, and called Astro Jobs, and it says npm create Astro at latest, and we're going to do that. And we're going to scaffold out we're going to use a basic minimal starter. I'm going to say yes for the dependencies, yes for the Git repository, and we're going to get it to spin up our job board here, the Astro project. Okay, and once that's done, we can now we can clear the screen and say npx astro add tailwind. So add Tailwind CSS. Sorry, npx astro add tailwind. I don't think I spelled that correctly. There we go. Say yes to everything. Okay, so this is what's required. You need to import Tailwind into a shared layout. So we're going to go to layouts, and at the top we're going to create some front matter. And this is going to say styles / global CSS. Oh, because we're already in source. Okay, that's fine. So we'll change this to Astro Jobs, and for now this is all we need. We'll create possibly a header and footer at some point. Now we'll do components. So we're going to need a job card, and I've just renamed the hero section to be a job card, and we're going to start from scratch, so we're just going to get rid of that. And basically we want to have a job as a prop, and we'll have a div. We'll style everything in a moment, but we'll just have the div with the h1 of job title, and we're going to need the company, and the location is always remote, so we're going to go skip to job type, so h3 job dot type, and then we're going to have a span with the salary, and going to have a short description. So we have a paragraph and we're going to say job.accept. Just be a short description. And then we'll have a UL with a jobs.tags.map. And we'll map the tags. And we'll say li tag. Sorry, job.tags. And we'll say tags any. So any tags will be mapped over like so. And eventually we'll have the description as well, but that's in another, that's when we do the specific listing. So that's what we have. Now we can go to the index page and change welcome to job card. And say job card here, and it obviously takes in a job, and we will now create a way to get jobs. So we can basically say const jobs equals, we'll just put a job here, we'll say title, senior front end developer, the company fictional, the type is full time, the salary is 120,200 to 1,300. I'm going to do description, we're going to do tags, and that's going to be Astro, CSS, HTML, TypeScript, Tailwind. Okay, so that's what we want, and all jobs will have an ID. I'll just give an ID of 1. So we'll format this document, and we will copy it and make another one. Junior, 200 to 300k, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Just change the tags so we can see. Okay, so now that we have those, we can say div here, the class of padding 8. This is going to be our hero section. Sorry. There we go. And this is going to be afterwards. I'm going to have a div in the class of grid dash cols dash 1, and then grid dash cols dash 3. And then we're going to map over, so it's going to say jobs.map job. Sorry, make sure that that's normal. And we use this job card here. We'll paste it here, and the job will be there. So if all goes well, we should have, I'm going to add one more here. ID3, junior, web designer, Figma, and design, UI design. Okay, so we've got 3 items here, and we can get rid of this comment, and this is going to be a H1 of Astro jobs, and H2 of some call to action here, and we say ahref / for now nothing, and just say browse jobs. So this isn't styled at all right now. We just have a bit of padding everywhere, but it's going to look pretty basic. So we're going to go to the terminal and run npm run dev, and it's running on a different port. But here we go. So we've got the jobs and the company name. So let's just style this a little bit more now. So first of all, let's style the job card, and we'll do a class of padding 4, background gray 300, and the UL class of flex. And let's see what this looks like. Okay, and we want to have maybe some margin on each of the cards. Yep, and maybe rounded as well. And a shadow. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. And even though we've got some here, we've got some in the spacing, we have some margin as well. For the tags, excellent. Actually, let's just maybe do padding instead. Yeah, we'll maybe put background of orange, 400, and rounded MD. And now maybe the margin. Here we go. And we can actually change the background to black. Well, actually, no, we'll do grey. Let's see if we can do grey 800. So it's like really dark. Excellent. And we'll change all the text to be white in the whole div. That way we don't have to, okay, margin right 2 instead. Here we go. So now we've got senior front-end developer for the same company, web developer, etc. So that's all there, and then we also want to make sure that each card has a button that has a reference to the job ID. So we say /jobs/job.id, and this will be view job. And we're going to want to style it, so we're going to make sure that this is the UL is a margin bottom of 8, and then we can put a class on this a tag. Excellent. And we can say background orange. Excellent. So there we go. And we're going to do, let's see, a margin bottom of 8 as well. Will that do anything? No, that doesn't do anything. Okay, so that's fine. We can make sure. That's fine. All right. So So the job title can have a class of font dash bold. So if we take a look now, and also text Excel. We can go to the index page and change this to part-time, and this is non-fiction. Can't spell, but there you go. So we have different ones here. And we'll change this to 800 to 900. There we are. Okay. So you got the job title, the company, the type, and the amount, the salary amount. So we could now style the header area. So we know we want background of grey 800. We want the text to be white. We want this text to be 4. And what we're going to do, we're going to move this to be actually as a flex row. What will that look like? Yeah, that's a bit better. And we'll put the browse jobs. We'll put this in one div. The H2 and the browse jobs in one div. So then we've got that's fine. And we'll move the padding to the div instead. There we go. And the browse jobs, we want to make sure it's similar to this one here, this class in the job card. So we'll just copy that and go to the browse jobs and paste the class here. So this one, we want to have a class of margin bottom 8. So there we go. Astro jobs, job board. Okay, it's not the same as this, but we'll get there. We'll get to this sort of style. Find your next. Oh yeah, let's copy this and add it here. Okay, so then we want a div. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll put the div, we'll make it look more like this. So we will copy that, add a div here, and the H1 can stay the same. We just want to put it inside here. We want to put this and this inside of this one. First div, and the second div is the div class of rounded MD. Background is white. Padding is 8. And then it's a form. There's no action at the moment, but we'll do that at some point, and that'll be an input of email. We can style that. We want to make sure that we've updated this here. Excellent. Because this is flex, we can actually say justify between, so it will push it. Excellent. So it's not quite the same, but we're getting there. So, okay, so we want to have a form. Okay, so instead of flex, what we'll do, we'll actually change that to a grid. Column of 1, and then MD is a grid dash calls dash 2. Okay, so that's a bit more like it. And okay, so now we can style the second area here. We'll give this class of the form with the class of space dash y dash, and then we'll put the inputs in a div. So oops, say div, and the label is for email, and we will say email, and then the input is email, and ID is email, everything's email. And the class will be mt-1 block width full rounded dash md, and border gray 300, shadow md. Okay, so we'll just have that for now. And the label itself will have a class, and it will be block text small and font medium. Okay, so we're getting close. Background white, so the text has to be, let's go make sure that the text is black here so that we can actually see things. There we go, so the email is there. So excellent. I'm going to say gray 300 so that it's not quite white. And actually we'll stick to the 800. Oh no, I think the 300 was fine. Anyway, so this div is fine, so then we'll just copy this and paste it here, and we'll change everything to password. Alright, so then we have email and password here. And at the top here, we'll just have a h2 with a class of text 2xl, font dash bold, text dash gray dash 900. Sorry, I have to put a dot here, and oh no, a dot, and this will be employer William, and make sure that that's inside here, and change this text black to the form to make sure that we've got, there we go, that's awesome. So it's looking nice, except we need it to be a bit more prominent. So we might change the border, the background to be grey 800. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's better. And maybe a padding of 2. Yeah, so we'll copy that and make sure that the other input is the same. Oops. Copy this class, paste it here. Alright, so there we go. So we've got a nice little employee login, and we'll make sure that the everything is okay. We'll take the text black out because I think by default it is black. Oh no, by default it's white. Okay, so we will put the label as text black, but the everything else will be white. Yeah, so there we go. So we've got a nice little, it's similar to this, but it's not, you know, it's not, we could make it more similar by adding a class of max width MD. Yeah, so that looks a little bit more. And then margin left 16. Okay, so more like 36. Okay, anyway, we'll just do max width 16, and yeah, I think that's good enough for what we want to do, just to have a little job board going on here. When you click browse jobs, it should go down here, and what we're going to do now is abstract the jobs by having its own file. So what we'll do, we'll create a file under the source folder called data, and then we'll call this one jobs.ts. And here we're going to export a interface called job, and it's going to have an ID, which is a string. It's going to have a title, which is also a string. Company, you can see where I'm going with this. We've got location. Actually, it's remote, so we're going to remove the location. We're going to do type, salary, description. This time we actually do want a description. We're just not pulling it in the job card, and then tags, which is a string, but it's an array. Okay, now we want to take our jobs from here, from the index page, cut it, and here we put export and then paste it. Export jobs, and that is the type of job. And that's fine, yep. ID string, so we're just gonna change that to a string. We're missing description, so we will add description. And we'll make sure we add it to all of them so far, and then we will change there we go. So instead of, so we're going to say, we're going to import now the jobs from the data.jobs, and now we want to say, let's call in jobs map, so we say const the jobs equals jobs, and we change this to the jobs.map. Okay, so now everything should be back to normal. Great. So we can bring in, we can add more here. So it could be like, help us build a scalable solution. This one could be, join our distributed team with experience. We are looking for, etc. And the top one here, we can say something like, we can actually put lorem. If we go here and we put lorem, and actually just paste that here. Make sure it goes here. Awesome. So there we go. We've got a nice description. I think we are going to add the location because that could be important. So we can say location could be, it says remote, but it's worldwide. And we could say remote but EU, and then remote but USA. So there you go, you've got a different, and in our job card we can actually add that. So we've got the job type and the salary, and we say job.description. So here, oh sorry, not description, job.location. All right, and we'll actually put it there. Excellent. So full-time, salary, excellent. Okay, so we want to have the salary, and we'll put $sign here. Excellent. All right, so now we've kind of got a nice little job board going on. We don't have a way to add a job yet, but first of all, what we're going to do next is we're going to look at creating just the page with the ID. So we'll make a new folder. The page is called jobs. Jobs. And then we will create a new file and we'll say id.astro. So we'll get jobs by ID basically. So that will consist of importing the layout first. Make sure we have the same layout. And then what we will do, we will get the async function. So export async function, get static paths, just going to return jobs.map. See, it's imported it for us, and then the job. And then what we're going to do is add the params, and it will be ID, and that will be job.title.to lowercase dot replace // s plus g dash. Okay. Job title to lowercase, is this right? So and then the props will be job. I think something is wrong here. So what we got here? S plus G. Okay, we're just gonna say this for now. And we're gonna say at the bottom here, const job equals astro.params. Job.id. Okay. Now we're going to create a nice layout. Div with a max width of 7XL. And this is going to have our back button. So we're going to say a href goes back, and that's going to be a class inline flex items center. Text. Let's say orange. 800. Let's say back. And back here we're just going to say mx auto px-4 and lg px-8 py-12. Alright, so that's what we've got here. And then after this div, we've got another div, bg of white, rounded dash lg, shadow dash md, padding of 8, and margin bottom of 8. And this is where we're going to have our job. So we're going to have a H1 with a text 3XL. That's going to be our job.title. So ID. So we've got the props here, and do that. Fix using Copilot. I'm going to fix using Copilot. I'm going to ask it. Okay, accept. Alright, so we can test this out just to see what we get. But we're just going to do a span with a class of text -xl, and this is going to be job.company. And then a span with job.location, and then a paragraph with job.description. Alright, so here we go. So now, as you can see, on our view job, we've got view +1, +2. So we view 1, we've got the title, we've got the company, we've got the location, and we've got the description. We click back, we go back to where we were, and it changes every time. So we can style this page a bit more, but this is very good so far. So what we want now is to take this and make another div, class of flex-col. We're going to do MD flex row and MD items center. I'm going to put that in there and we'll take a look and see what this looks like. Okay, here we go, that's fine. So, title, company. We're going to make sure that this says like font bold and margin bottom 2. And inside here, we just have a div. So we've got 3 divs there. Okay. So we've got text 3XL and then text XL, but that looks smaller somehow. I'll do class text LG maybe. Yeah, just remove location for now. Let's just do this because that's fine. You get the idea. So there's the information. So we want everything. So we're just going to go salary, location, and what was the other one? Tags. Type. Sorry. Type. We're going to remove the flex actually and just do padding 4, just so everything stacks on top of each other. If it does. Oops, sorry. So we got that. Okay. So go back and view job. Okay, so it's a little bit better, but the span, instead of spans actually, let's just do H2s. H2, then H3, H3, and H3. Let's do H3s, excellent. So we're doing well. We've got the description and everything. So the last thing we need is, just look at what's similar here. You can actually copy everything that's here instead, and we'll go to the index.astro and paste it there, except we can say description. Yeah, we can obviously style it. We're not gonna add the background here, and we're gonna remove the text white. Okay, so very similar, except we don't want the view job, we want to apply job, apply for job. Yeah, job dot, make sure it's backticks, job dot URL, which we don't have yet, but we will have in a second. So the jobs.ts, we're going to add a URL string at the end here. Right now the URL only goes to the home page, but the idea is to be able to view job here, then you apply for job, but it goes back. And make sure that in the index card, in id.astro, we have two divs like this. So I'm just going to remove this one. And that way we have one specific div, and the back button has moved somehow. So we view the job, and the back button's all the way up here. So what we can do, we can just remove these styles here and see what we got. Okay, good. Now we want a padding, definitely a padding of 8. Maybe even have an arrow of some kind to go back. As you can see, we don't really have a, we didn't have one doing that, okay. We don't really have this kind of Jumbotron style, but we will have a header in a moment. So we can go back, view another job, go back, view another job, go back. As we obviously we're doing that tons of times, so what we could do, we could turn this Jumbotron into the header, or we could just make a header. So we might just make a header component. So we'll just go component, new file, header.astro, and this will just be a simple div with the UI of home or browse jobs, and an li of employer dashboard. Sorry. Employer dashboard or login, employer login. Alright, so format that, and now we want to go to the layout file and import this header. and add it here to our slot, just before the slot. And now we have, oops, we don't have we have browse jobs. And when we view the job, browse jobs, exactly, so we've got in here. Obviously it doesn't look good, so we'll just, we'll copy the styles from the job card. And we will add that here. No margin, but we do want padding, and we don't want it rounded. We don't want the shadow. We might want a border dash B, border dash white. Yeah, that's fine. And UL the class of, sorry, we'll put the nav, because it's more of a navigation, and put the UL inside. And we will say class of flex dash row, justify dash between, okay. I was gonna put it browse jobs and employee. And what we're going to do as well, we're going to add one more. We're going to add the logo. We'll say Astro jobs. And this one is just going to have class of, actually it should be just a H1. And this one's a class of text through 7XL, font bold. Oh wow, okay, that's a bit too big, maybe 3. And all of them will have a hover state. So we'll just say class hover, orange, text orange, is it 5? Excellent, yeah. Yes, I think it's more 400. So we'll do the same here, copy that. I will put a class on this one. And a class. Oops. Browse jobs, Astro jobs, browse jobs, and then an employee login, which doesn't go anywhere yet. So we've got that here. So we've got the, but we could also actually, on the ID card here, we could also add the same Jumbotron as we have, the hero section, sorry, as we have here. So we could basically take this whole hero section, cut it, add a new component file called hero.astro, paste it, and then we paste it here. And that way we can also paste it inside the ID here. Make sure we import it. And that way we have it here, but we also have it there. So, excellent. So there's our little job board. We can obviously add employer login and ability to add a job. but maybe we can just add, we can close all this. And in the hero, we've got add a job, browse a job, but we should also have post a job. We can actually put this as background white, and then the text is orange 400. So it looks different. So, and then this one actually will go to /post -job. So now we've got a page, new file called post-job.astro. And this will be very similar to the form we have. So we're just going to take the form, this part of the div here, and we're going to import the layout. And we're just going to have post a job. Now this isn't really going to do anything right now, but we just have the make sure that this is layout. Okay, so that's what we got here. So now we can say post a job, and there's this here. And in order to have a job, we obviously want to make sure that we have all the fields. So we want to have a reference. So we need, let's copy all of this. And at the top here, let's just paste this so we know what we got. So we want, the ID will be generated randomly. We just want a title. And this is title. So type will be text. ID will be title. And then we want a company. Company, text. This is text, sorry. Next, we want location and type. So we want there to be a certain locations. So we're going to use select in this case. So we'll just copy this div. And we'll put select. And it's not going to be a type because that's fine. This one's going to be location. And this one needs to have options. So the options are USA, we've got EU, and then we've got worldwide. We might have the same, well, let's just take a look and see what we've got. We want the same thing for the type, so we'll take this same div, and we'll do the same for type. So there's a few types. So we've got full-time, part-time, contract, and we'll do one more, we'll do freelance. we've done those. Then we want the salary, description and tags. Okay. So this one is going to be just a input. So we copy that. So we've got here salary, and this is salary. Next is what? Description and tags and URL. Okay. Okay, description, tags, and URL. Description is going to be a text area. And this is going to be description. And then we're going to take this div here and we're going to say this is URL. This is the apply URL. That's the text. Okay, so actually we might even be able to say URL here. ID of text, name of URL. Make sure actually you add the names because that'll be helpful for name description as well. Yeah, make sure you put the names here. So this is salary. This is type. This is location. This is company. And this is title. So we haven't done tags yet. So let's take this in. The last div here will be just before URL. And this will be tags. Sorry, this is text. Tags. And you guessed it, tags. Okay, so here we go. So this is what's. So we'll see what this looks like. There we go. As you can see, we obviously need to make sure that these are white when we're posting. But there you go. There's your poster job, apply URL, and then we need a button right at the end. So this will be a button type of submit. This will be post job. And then the price. Something like that. And we make a class of padding 4, margin top of 8, and background orange -400, text white. So you make sure that the text is white in this whole thing, whole form here. All right. So then we can fill all of that out, and then we click post to job, and it won't do anything right now, but we can look at how to post a job. So that's all done, and we could make the employee login and dashboard. Again, you could do that with my other tutorials like GitHub, adding Superbase, where you could log in with GitHub, log in with Google or even log in with LinkedIn or any of the other providers that Superbase provides. It's very, very good. So next we're going to add this new post a job link. And say post a job. So you don't have to, you can do it from anywhere. So I'll post dash job. And there we go. So there's post a job, browse jobs, post a job, browse jobs. Post a job. We might want to make it a bit more streamlined. So what we could do is in the post a job, we'll say max width MD, and that will make it very, very small. Then we can say mx-auto, make it in the middle, and we can say max width extra large. Actually, we should just leave it as it was. Yeah, I'll leave it as it was. That's fine. But we can definitely say min h screen so that it's just the screen here. All right, post a job. Awesome. So what we could do now is, so now we've got the job board. We're pulling in the data. We've got little cards, and then we can view the job on its own, what it is and what it needs. We have a poster job form, and we can just make a quick dashboard. So that's what we'll do now. So we need a dashboard, so it's just pages, dashboard dot Astro. So we're gonna add the layout. But this time we're gonna have a div. So make sure we have the layout. But this time we're going to have a div with the class of flex, actually grid, and grid dash calls dash 1 obviously. But then md dot, actually let's just do that for now. Md grid dash calls dash 2. So on one side we're going to have a div with the links. So we have a nav with UL, LI, and this will be profile, LI of settings, LI of dashboard. And the other div is going to be the content. So we're going to add a form basically of it's going to be similar to poster job. Actually, yeah, it'll just be similar to poster job. So we'll just copy this form. And we'll paste it here. So now when we go to employee login, we've got this form on the left and a profile dashboard on the right. And we can change this to say dashboard or employee dashboard instead. Excellent. And there's a poster job, and we're just gonna actually on the instead of the nav, we're literally just gonna make an image. We'll get an image from Unsplash, and we'll just be class of rounded full padding and no padding. Let's go to Unsplash. And we'll just get a people and we'll get a person. And we'll make sure that the license is free. And we'll get a random person. Let's take this one. Copy image address, and we'll go here and we'll paste that here. So now, okay, we've got width full, okay, that's fine. So I don't think I was putting this in the right location. Has to be in dashboard. That'd be helpful. So we want to remove this div here. Let's say image source. And again, let me just copy the image address and make sure that this is a employer profile. Obviously, you can update this if you add any of the other things like any of the other type of logins. You could obviously use the social media icons as well. Login, social media profile, sorry. This is rounded full, so we can get a circle. And width 48. Excellent. And div with class of padding 4. And this is mx-auto. So it's in the middle. So we've got that, and then we've got a H1 of the company name, class of text center, and text 2XL, font dash bold, and now we want the company location and a button to say update profile. Which could link to a page. Actually, we could say have a paragraph with some information about the company. And MX Auto, let's say item center. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. That's fine. so we'll just move that for now. Okay, that's fine for now. And we will remove this text center, remove all of that. Okay. It's company name, company, excellent. And the button type, we want to make sure that we have the button that is very, very similar. So we will update this. And we say A, the class A. And a href of dashboard. So it just keeps going here, and we'll just say update profile. Doesn't need the margin top, but it might need the margin bottom. Okay, so the paragraph tag has to have class of margin bottom 8. All right, we can make it so that the div has a padding of 4 at least. There we go. So this employee dashboard, post a job, or you can go to employer and post a job. Log in here. We need to actually have a login button. Just realized that. So we'll just go to the, close all of those, go to the hero. And we actually have a button, so we'll just paste. And we'll just say login. And this one needs to have the rounded. Okay. So there we go. So we've got a few jobs. We could ask ChatGPT to make some more. So we could do that too. Let's quickly do that. And what we'll do, we will take the data here. And we will ask ChatGPT to make 10 job descriptions or jobs using this format. Looks like I don't have a lot of, my memory is full. Okay, so, another thing we could do is free jobs API. We could actually get an API key. Something that doesn't require an API key would be easier. Open skills. Okay, API overview. Okay, let's see. What we got here. Say no auth. So you could use a free job board API if you wanted to. There's one here, open skills. Doesn't seem to be working right now, but let's say we wanted to retrieve all jobs. You can. I've got tutorials about how to use APIs, so that could be something you want to do. This is an XML files. job EC. This is a good one actually. This one has quite a bit, which is quite good. Remote jobs. Yeah, that one could be a way to get some, let's say, web. So it comes back with a few job descriptions you could use. Well, it actually comes back with 20 if you want to only want 5. So this is what I've added to filter the jobs. So we've just got a UL class here, an LI, and each of them have a reference. So this one is job /type /full-time, part-time, contract, freelance, etc. We can obviously make these dynamic if we wanted to, but this, just for simplicity, this is what we've got. And these are pointing to a page, jobs. Under pages, we've got a folder called jobs, then types, and then this type.astro. So we're importing the jobs from the data, importing the hero, the layout, and the job card. And we're using the job.type as the param. So, and then we've got the filter here, filtering the jobs by type. This will just take us, this is just a back button. We can actually say bg-black p-4. And if we take a look, that was the other one. So if we go to contract, got this back button, full-time, back button, part-time, there's only one entry, back button, and the back button looks a little bit off. I think the text needs to be white, and that will look a bit better. So if we go part-time, got a back button, we could also make sure that the user knows that we've moved. So we've got the hero here, and we can just say job.type in a H1. We can actually maybe just put type or params. Type, here we go. See what this looks like. Part-time, there we go, that's what we need. So we say class of font bold text 2XL. Okay, just so that we know what we're doing here. So part-time jobs, contract jobs, freelance jobs. Okay, so we got we might switch how we show it. So we just put the full-time jobs and then go back. And there we go, we've got like a little filter. So we could do exactly the same thing, and we can make a folder called locations, and then we can say location.astro, and it would be very similar to this, except it will be job.location. Location, and this will be location. Location, excellent. list on type. Because we're saying type and it's location. Okay, so we've changed everything to location. So now what we can do in the index, we could copy this and we could have another UL of all locations and then locations US, say USA, actually all locations, yeah, and EU, get rid of those two, and we just say EU. And oh, there's one more actually, worldwide. USA, okay, so that's what we got here. So now if we take a look, we've got locations, and then we've got worldwide, and USA, and EU. Okay, but those aren't working right now because the locations in the jobs, .ts, don't say that, so we just say USA. This one is EU. We'll say worldwide. This one's definitely EU. And this one's worldwide. Okay, so we've got quite a few locations. So now we can say EU. Because it's going to the wrong location. So here we have to make sure that this is going to all the right locations. Say USA, this is USA jobs, worldwide jobs, EU jobs, all locations. And there we go, so we've made filters. Obviously you could clean it up. We could basically have filters. Let's have a div. Div class of flex row, justify between. So you have all locations worldwide. Yeah, so EU. Okay, so we could have class of background gray 300. Let's just have a look. Yep, padding 2. Yeah, and make sure that they all have the same. USA, EU, excellent. So we can do the same here, but instead of gray, we could maybe put orange. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. And if we want it to be on every page, we can basically take this whole filters area and put it in the header. If we wanted to, to, or we could put it we could put it in the header, and we could take this background here and put that just in the nav here. Or actually, we will remove all of that and we'll make our own component. So we'll say the filter.astro component. Back to header, back to index, cut that. Save that, filter.astro, paste it. Okay. Close everything apart from the index. I'm going to say filter here, and we can actually put it above the hero if we wanted. So we could have it here, or we could add it to the header section. We're going to import it in the header file. Import filter. Alright, so we got worldwide, EU. So we got filters here, full-time jobs, etc. And we've got that, and then click on the employee dashboard. It will take us to the dashboard here. And obviously we can't post a job, but you can see how you would be able to do that. All you would need to do is create a folder here, API, and create a post job.ts. And then you would want to import type API route, and then you want to say you'd want to add your API route here. And then with the poster job, you'd basically say in the form action, you'd say /API/post job, and you would get it to do it from there. So that's how you would do that. So we've added the filters. Obviously you can clean it up. So I've got the job filter here. Might want to just wrap everything in a div. Give it a nice padding of 4. Okay. So that's our home page. We can change the index here to say md grid-calls-2. And for some reason it's removing this div here. Okay, so there we go. So that's all the jobs, and we can say in the index file, let's have a h1 saying all jobs with a class of text 3XL font bold, just so that we know we're on the home page. And then got full-time jobs, part-time jobs, contract, freelance. Okay, let me go back. So make sure we have a nice little padding, 4, and we're good to go. So there we are, that's our full job board. Obviously you can add what you need. Remember each, you can actually view each job. You could use a backend like Superbase or AppWrite for your jobs, especially when you want to post a job or log in. I think I've changed something in the header. Oh yeah, the dashboard here. So yeah. So we've got this page for the employer. So here we are. So this is our job board. We have all the jobs that we are pulling in from, at the moment just a file on our machine, but you could pull it in again from make it dynamic. You can post a job. Well, we can't actually post a job, but this is where you would fill it out and add all your descriptions and everything here. And then we've got the employer login, which is the profile page, and then the offer to post a job. This you could integrate Stripe or something like that in order to post the job on your platform. So there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed that, and if you want me to make it dynamic using Superbase or AppWrite, please let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.